You're watching Inside Durango News, your source for information about Southwest Colorado. Brought to you by Oxford Asset Management, inspiring confidence, growing dreams. Oxford Asset Management.
You're watching the first edition of Inside Durango News for 2014. I'm Ashley Dixon. Thanks for joining us. In this week's edition, we'll visit with State Senator Ellen Roberts about the 2014 General Assembly and the issues she hopes to address on behalf of Southwest Colorado. We'll also learn why a local elementary school received the Governor's Award for Academic Excellence, and join us as we take a ride on a dog sled with the Durango Dog Ranch. But first, some very serious news. Snowdown Follies ticket sales. If you are one of the 8,000 entries that did not get picked during the annual Snowdown Follies mail-in ticket drawing on December 7th, you still have one more chance to score. Stand-in-line ticket sales will begin at 6 a.m. on Saturday, January 18. Stand-in-line ticket sales will begin at 6 a.m. on Saturday, January 18th. You'll have to tune in to KIQX, KIUP, or KRSJ radio stations to find out where you pick up your order number for the ticket line. Tickets will be sold downstairs at the Elks Lodge. You can buy only 4 tickets, and they cost $15 each. Ticket sales for the popular Fashion Do's and Don'ts will follow Follies ticket sales at 11 a.m. at Magpies on Main Avenue. Snowdown's 2014 Safari So Good will be from Wednesday, January 29th to Sunday, February 2nd. Follies productions are on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday nights at the Henry Strader Theater and the Durango Arts Center. The popular production that pokes fun at Durango's foibles sells out every year. In fact, Follies manager Janalee Hogan said that they sifted through more than 8,600 mail-in ticket entries to pick only 140 lucky winners. They shredded checks totaling more than $600,000, a record for the Follies, she said. About 140 tables remain to be sold on January 18th. Fashion Do's and Don'ts begins at 11 a.m. on the Wednesday of Snowdown Week at the La Plata County Fairgrounds. There are only 2 out of 146 events scheduled for this year's celebration. For more information, visit the Snowdown website at snowdown.org. If you plan on any partying during the Snowdown Week or any week this winter, do yourself a favor and find a designated driver. The San Juan Basin Health Department, Celebrating Healthy Communities, and X-Rock Radio are working with local law enforcement and the Durango Restaurant Association to provide free non-alcoholic drinks and other incentives to designated drivers at local bars and restaurants. Participating bars and restaurants will provide designated drivers with bracelets to wear during the evening. Designated drivers who collect 5 bracelets may turn them into the Health Department or X-Rock Radio for additional prizes. The sponsoring agencies hope to eliminate drunk driving deaths in La Plata County by 2017. The program will run through March 2014. For more information, contact Pat Senecal with the Health Department at 335-2048. Students and teachers at Fort Lewis Mesa Elementary School have a lot to smile about as they resume classes this month. The Colorado Department of Education designated the school as a recipient of the Governor's Distinguished Improvement Award for exceptional student growth during the 2013 school year. It means that students learned more than a year's worth of content during the regular school year, according to the assessment test scores. The school also significantly closed the achievement gaps between children who live in poverty, minority groups, and their peers to insignificant levels. School principal John Marchino says that the award recognizes the hard work that teachers and students have invested in learning.
What does it mean? It validates the work that we've been doing for the past 5 years at our school. We've been working really hard to improve our student achievement, help our students grow, and this really, it's something we look at our data and we look at what we're doing and we're going, wow, this is great. And that all our staff's going, does anybody else know that we're doing this stuff? Does anybody else know? And to get an award like this from the governor is validation of the good work that we're doing. It's kind of like, wow, somebody actually sees the work that we're doing and is noticing the great stuff that we're doing, the hard work that we're doing at school, and how great our teachers are.
Marchino attributes improved student achievement to the staff's focus on each student's strengths and weaknesses. When a student doesn't understand a letter sound, a critical skill for reading, a team of teachers prepares a specific learning plan and works with that one child to close the learning gap, he explained. The school also emphasizes writing in every subject area to improve reading and understanding.
One thing that we've really worked on in our school is our writing. Ever since I've been there, writing's been a huge focus. It's been the lowest area in our test scores, so it's been a huge focus, and we've implemented more writing in our math, in our science and social studies, and our teachers are using Writers Workshop and you're using Write Tools activities, and our students' writing has really taken off, and they do some fabulous work, and that's one of the main reasons why I think our growth is so good with our students, is because we focus on our writing, and they just do an excellent job, and we got great kids.
Fort Lewis Mesa has 150 children in preschool to 5th grade. The Durango School District 9R has 2 new board members, Greg Spradling, and former principal at Durango High School, and Brianne Stanke, an engineer with BP America, will serve 2-year appointments each. Stanke fills the seat for District D that went unfilled during the November election. Spradling replaces Christy Rodri, who resigned from the board when she moved from District A. Spradling actually ran against Rodri during the 2011 school board election, but lost. Spradling has more than 32 years of experience in education, including roles as a coach, teacher, and administrator. Stanke has more than 7 years of project management and project engineering experience with BP. To contact either new board member, visit the district's website at durangoschools.org. A small hydroelectric power plant in Silverton was able to breeze through the federal permitting process thanks to the recently enacted Hydropower Regulatory Efficiency Act. The bill, which passed unanimously in Congress in August, was co-sponsored by U.S. Senator Michael Bennet along with Representative Scott Tipton from Cortez. The bill cuts through the red tape for non-controversial hydro projects that are less than 5 megawatts. And the project in Silverton, located near the historic Mayflower Mill, will generate 8 kilowatts, which equals less than 0.1% of a single megawatt. The small project is being run by the San Juan County Historical Society to provide electricity for the Mayflower Mill, a registered National Historic Landmark, which is open 3 days a week for several months out of the year for self-guided tours. Prior to this new law, the cost of acquiring the necessary permits for such a project would normally outweigh the cost of the equipment for the power plant itself. In this case, the San Juan County Historical Society was able to utilize money for the plant's construction from the U.S. Department of Agriculture's Rural Development Fund, as well as funds from the Colorado Water Resource and Power Development Authority, the State Division of Reclamation, Mining and Safety, and the Colorado State Historical Fund. The hydro plant will use water from the upper Arastra Creek, and the process will mimic the same historic technology that was used at mills all over the San Juans more than a century ago when hydroelectric power was first utilized, according to Bev Rich, chairman of the San Juan Historical Society. The Mayflower Mill was in operation from 1930 to 1991, and during its heyday it produced over 900,000 ounces of gold, along with millions of ounces of silver and tons of base metal. The new year ushered in a season of change at the Durango Area Tourism Office after it was announced in December that Patty O'Brien would no longer be the organization's executive director after less than a year on the job. Board members declined to comment on the reasoning behind the decision, but did confirm that her last day on the job was December 18th. Just 2 days later, the office announced 3 open seats on the board of directors. In addition to looking for a new executive director, Dado is now accepting nominations for board seats representing transportation, tourism-related retail, and the restaurant and bar community. Nominees must be active within the appropriate local industry and be able to provide insight on how to promote tourism in the Durango-La Plata County community. According to their 2014 Strategic Operations and Marketing Plan, Dado is continuing to focus on precision marketing efforts to increase visitation and lengthen overnight stays through their Durango Dozen marketing initiative that launched in 2013. The branded advertising campaign highlights Durango as having a dozen vacations in one destination, targeting different demographics across the board. Digital marketing and social media will continue to play a big role in Data's outreach efforts in the next year as more and more travelers turn to outlets like Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest to explore a destination before booking their stay. According to Dato's annual report, up to 52% of users have changed their original travel plans based on social media, and the emphasis on the visual is now more important than ever. And with the help of social media, locals are now getting the chance to promote their favorite aspects of Durango via the Visit Durango hashtag on Instagram and Facebook. With almost 1,500 images tagged on Instagram, potential visitors can scroll through the photos posted by locals and visitors alike to discover the best of Durango. Dogs have worked alongside humans for thousands of years. They've hunted for game, herded livestock, and pulled sleds over the snow. You can experience dog sledding at Durango Mountain Resort this winter. More on dog sledding after the break.
Jim Mackay hosts Open for Business, an informative new program on commerce, industry, and business in the Four Corners region. Premiering Thursday, January 16th on IDTV, Durango Cable Channel 15. Open for Business with Jim Mackay, brought to you by First Southwest Bank.
At Alpine Bank, we believe people make the difference. We're connecting and partnering with those in the community creating and nurturing strong relationships. At Alpine Bank, we're sharing life every step of the way. Together, we're moving beyond banking. Alpine Bank. Experience the difference. Conveniently located in downtown Durango and Three Springs.
For natural and organic vitamins and supplements and health and beauty products, there's no better place than Nature's Oasis. We offer an experienced staff, nutrition and supplement education, and exclusive products. Nature's Oasis, home to the largest selections of vitamins and supplements in the Four Corners region.
Come check out what's new at the Ute Mountain Casino Hotel and Resort. We now have single and double deck blackjack games. Enjoy our King of the Cage boxing events year-round at our event center. If you're on the go, take a break at the new Ute Mountain Travel Center. With our valet service, you can arrive in style and get right into the action. Visit us for our Saturday prime rib buffet and our seafood buffet on Fridays. With the largest gaming floor in the area, Ute Mountain Casino Hotel and Resort has all the great games you love to play. Watch more at DurangoTV.com.
Welcome back to Inside Durango News. I'm Ashley Dixon. Dog sledding requires snow. It also requires eager animals, careful training, and a sense of adventure. Earlier this month, Inside Durango News correspondent Catherine McKnight headed to Durango Mountain Resort to visit with sled teams from Durango Dog Ranch.
Hi, I'm Catherine McKnight, and I'm with Inside Durango TV News. And I'm here with Greg Dubit, and he is the owner of Durango Dog Ranch. How are you today?
Great, thank you.
Good. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Beautiful day today.
A little too beautiful.
Yeah, it's pretty hot out here for the dogs, huh?
It is. They've got their winter coats on and it's a little toasty.
How long have you been doing this for?
This is our 18th season, but first year under contract with DMR.
Oh,
so we're super excited to be up here at Purgatory.
All right, yeah, and I bet you get a lot of tourists coming through here too.
We do. We've had some great guests this year, a lot of people from Texas, quite a few locals as well, Albuquerque, but it's been an awesome response this year.
Oh, good. All right, well, how did you get started here? Or I guess you used to be out in Mancos, right?
Well, we still run over there. I've got teams out there today as well, so we still run our half-day trips in Mancos. And I read a lot of Jack London books as a kid.
Oh, okay.
I grew up in Washington, D.C., but I've been in Durango 24 years. And I got addicted to dog sledding.
Oh, wow. That's an interesting story.
Yeah, we started with one dog from the pound, La Plata County Humane Society. Trained him to pull me on skis. Then we thought, well, if my wife is Gretchen, if we had two, we'd each have one. So then we had two, and we thought, well, if we each had two dogs, then we would have more pulling power.
Yeah.
So then we had four, and we even did ski trips from here at DMR all the way over to Rico and back, with the dogs pulling us on skis.
Oh, wow.
And then we switched to sleds and peaked at about 45 dogs, and we still get dogs from the Humane Society.
What do you look for when you go get a dog at the pound?
Well, I look at their website a lot and I see who's available, and I think Chris does a great job with the Humane Society. It's an awesome organization, but I'm looking for super athletes. So our recent dog, let's see if I can find her, Trixie and Stitch. She's a German short hair pointer that was put up for adoption. I watched her for about 2 months, and I knew pointers are great runners. So I went to visit her, and the day we went, someone had dropped a little husky off. So we came home with two.
Oh.
And that's not uncommon, but great place to go for dogs.
Okay, so there's not a particular breed that you normally go after?
We like Siberian and Alaskan Huskies, but any dog loves to pull with a little bit of training.
How much can they pull altogether?
8 dogs could pull my crew cab pickup truck.
Oh, wow.
So one dog alone can't pull that much, but when you train them and they work as a team, they can generate several thousand pounds of force. So the main thing is the musher or coach is you don't want too powerful a team when you're taking guests out. Today we're just running 6 dogs per trip.
And how many people are normally on this sled?
3 adults per sled.
3 adults per sled.
So 2 guests and a guide.
So how do you begin to train the dogs once you do get them?
Well, for a dog to want to pull, it's got to be fun. So what we do is let them run alongside when we train. In August, we start with an ATV and do dry land training. We usually do about 500 miles of dry land training. Oh. And puppies or new dogs just run alongside. They have a great time mixing in with the adult dogs. And then when we feel like they're ready, we put them into the mix. And when a dog feels that harness and they get to lean into it, they love that pressure, just like a dog pulling on a collar. Now, our dogs are not trained to heel. If you put a leash on a sled dog, they're going to pull your arm out.
Oh, okay.
So we just let them run along. And that way, too, any of the dogs, if they ever need a break, you can just unhook them and they'll run right along with the team.
Oh, that's great.
So
And how do you command them to when you guys are ready to go?
just a lot of repetition. G is right, ha is left, ho is stop, and we don't have to say anything to let them go. A lot of people think we say mush, but that's what we feed them. We soak their food in water, makes a mushy mixture to keep them from getting dehydrated, but we don't actually say mush. We just say up, 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 and they go.
Oh.
So it's a lot of fun.
There's the safety tips that you inform them right before they go up on their trip.
Well, we do an instructional dog sledding adventure, so we teach everyone how to drive the sled, how to harness and hook up the dogs. All of our dogs are highly socialized, and before every trip we give a full safety talk on how to balance on the sled, and we really don't have any problems. If someone does slip off, we just say brush the snow off and get back in. We like to mention that we do operate under a special use permit on the National Forest, San Juan National Forest, that is, and then we have a contract with Durango Mountain Resort, which we're very excited about.
So where do you take your guests?
Well, we operate in two places, mostly over in Mancus. We do our half-day trips on the west side of the La Plata Mountains. And then here we are operating a 1-hour adventure at Durango Mountain Resort. You can book through guest services, and you're not driving the sled for an hour because it's instructional, but we're running this historic right-of-way, which is the old flume, and this still is active. It's transporting water from Cascade Creek to Electra Lake, which then feeds the Tacoma Power Plant. So it's a 100-year-old right-of-way. It's really exciting to dog sled on this old right-of-way right below Engineer Mountain. And the 1 hours, we do 6 runs a day from 10 to 3 o'clock, again booking directly through guest services at DMR.
All right, and how much does it cost?
It's $150 for the 1 hour per sled, which is 2 people, and $350 for the half day, which includes a picnic.
Well, thank you so much for your time today, Greg.
Of course.
And Ashley, back to you.
That looked like the dogs were having as much, if not more, fun than the drivers. Up next, an interview with State Senator Ellen Roberts.
The Sporting News Grill at the new Holiday Inn and Suites of Durango is now open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Featuring a full-service restaurant and bar with 11 HD TVs, it's a great venue for family and sports fanatics alike. The Sporting News Grill. Stop in and let us show you our game face.
Welcome to the Irish Embassy Pub Durango. We import the majority of our products straight from the Emerald Isle, and let's get it right. You want your Guinness directly imported from Dublin. You want it stored at precisely the right temperature. And you want the pour to be a matter of taste and science. You want a pull with the patience and precision that it deserves. And if that wasn't authentic enough, you want to enjoy it in a pub where the shelves are stocked with 24 different kinds of Irish whiskey. Yes, you want the true Irish experience. Come visit us at the Irish Embassy Pub Durango.
Introducing the Southwest Colorado Winter Guide, a great source for information about restaurants, activities, entertainment, and winter events. Pick one up and get the inside scoop on what's going on. From Cortez to Durango, from Pagosa Springs to Silverton, and every interesting attraction along the way. The Southwest Colorado Winter Guide is a free publication of the Durango Herald, available all over town.
It's full steam ahead on the Durango and Silverton Narrow Gauge Railroad. Enjoy a historic trip through Southwest Colorado's rich scenery with winter excursions through Cascade Canyon, a picturesque and snow-capped ride. Get a taste of wintertime in the San Juan Mountains just as people did over 100 years ago. A winter ride on the train takes you deep into a rugged and beautiful landscape, an experience you won't soon forget. Visit the depot or durangotrain.com.
Welcome back to Inside Durango News. I'm Ashley Dixon. During the holiday break, news producer Debbie Arota had an opportunity to visit with State Senator Ellen Roberts before she headed to Denver for the 2014 legislative session that began on January 8th. Roberts began her career in 2006 when she was elected to the State House of Representatives for District 59. She served 2 terms, during which time she passed legislation to establish the Colorado Youth Advisory Council. She served 2 terms as a representative prior to being elected to the Senate in 2010. She intends to run for re-election in 2014. This is her 4th year as a senator and her 8th year in the Colorado legislature.
In fact, you're going to be starting your 8th year in the legislature, 2 years as a representative, and this is your 1st term as a senator, your 4th year. What are some of the issues that you want to address?
Well, this year I am working hard on issues related to natural resources. So water supply, wildfire, and forest health. I also am interested in working on veteran issues in terms of access to health care, including mental health care, jobs, and education.
Tell me a little bit more about the veterans issues. Are you looking at making sure that there are more medical facilities for them, or there are more opportunities for education through grants? Tell me a little bit more about that.
Well, in Southwest Colorado, as you know, we're kind of isolated from a lot of the services, both in terms of healthcare. So a lot of our veterans here below Red Mountain Pass go down to Albuquerque. North of Red Mountain Pass, which is also my district, they go up to Grand Junction. But the mental health services are limited, and educational opportunities, I think we need to do a really good job in reintegrating the younger veterans who are coming back to the U.S., making sure that they take advantage of the educational opportunities, help them get back on their feet in terms of jobs. My father was in World War II. He used the GI Bill to go to school, and that was critically important for him in raising his family. So I just think we need to do things well, even if we're far from the major metropolitan areas.
Would you see a Veterans Affairs office in this area that is more active then?
Well, we have a really active county. Rich Slater had been for La Plata County. He's doing a great job, but he's one person who's stretched really thin. So I think we need to provide him some support from the community, as well as we have some great veteran services folks, the folks who help drive people down to Albuquerque. But I think we could do more. I think as a community we could do more. I think as a state we can do more. Certainly as a country, we need to, these folks have served their country, guys and gals, and we need to welcome them home and make sure they can continue on with their lives' paths.
It sounds like a really full plate. What can you do to bring more collaboration to our legislature?
You know, I think the key thing is we're all people. So there's 100 state legislators, and I think it's important to think of my colleagues as state legislators representing their district, but also the state of Colorado. So if we think of each other as people first and less about party affiliation, you can find ways to work together. And I've done that, and that's just my style, and I think it's more productive all the way around. So I would say that there are people who feel that there's working across the aisle is less disciplined, if you want to call it that. Our problems are too complex these days to try and pigeonhole people. So I think it's just continuing as I've done.
Tell us a little about yourself. You're a lawyer, you're married, and how'd you find Durango, and how long have you been living in Southwest Colorado?
Well, I came to Colorado in 1981. I was a park ranger at Rocky Mountain National Park up in Grand County on the Grand Lake side. And so I spent 3 seasons with Rocky Mountain, which again is why natural resources is very important to me. After that, I went to law school. I actually met my husband, Rick, working as a lift operator at Winter Park Ski Area.
Is that right?
And he was a ski bum, hurt his knee and ended up being a lift operator too. So we got started there at Winter Park, and we moved down here in 1989. We've raised our 2 kids who are now almost 27 and 25. Here in Durango. We're very lucky that they've stayed in the area for now, as they like to remind me, it's for now. But they love Durango, it's just they may have to go out. But it's a great place to raise your family and to live. And I worked for 20 years in a small law office setting, loved that too, had a lot of great clients, and moved into the politics in 2007 is when I started to serve.
And what was that moment that you said, I'm called to public service?
You know, my father was, he was a school teacher, which is a form of public service, and he also was a volunteer firefighter and ambulance rescue squad. And so I grew up with the idea that you serve your community in whatever way. And so I think it was always in the back of my mind, but when I was in college, I went to Washington, D.C. and worked for my congressman. And I was pretty convinced Washington, D.C. was pretty messed up. So I decided no politics, I would go have a real life, and which I have been very blessed to do. But then I realized the political bug was kind of coming back, and my kids were grown and out of high school, and my husband was supportive, so I ran and ended up serving in the state capitol.
Well, thank you very much for your time. We really appreciate it, and good luck with this next legislative session. That's sometimes hard to say. And best wishes for a Happy New Year.
Yeah.
I'm Deborah Urota for Inside Durango News. Back to you, Ashley.
If you wish to reach Roberts on any issue pending in the General Assembly, contact her through her website at ellenroberts.com. Up next, things to do in Durango in the coming week.
Get your tickets now for Durango Rocks, the Chamber of Commerce Award event scheduled for January 23rd at the Community Concert Hall. Tickets are only $25 before January 1st, $30 after. Go to durangobusiness.org.
Jim Mackay hosts Open for Business, an informative new program on commerce, industry, and business in the Four Corners region. Premiering Thursday, January 16th on IDTV, Durango Cable Channel 15. Open for Business with Jim Mackay, brought to you by First Southwest Bank.
Watch more at durangotv.com.
Welcome back to Inside Durango News. Here are your weekly updates. The Durango Community After Prom Association seeks volunteers for Durango High School's 2014 After Prom Party. About 130 parents and community members transformed the Durango Recreation Center into a safe and fun location for students to go after the prom to reduce incidents of drinking and driving and illegal partying. Prom weekend is April 5th and 6th. If you would like to volunteer, contact Laura Lewis Marchino at mom_devon@hotmail.com. The next monthly Business Improvement District Coffee and Conversation will be from 8:30 to 9:30 a.m. on Friday, January 10th at Durango City Hall. The City of Durango's multimodal coordinator, Amber Blake, will discuss the features of the newly installed high-tech downtown street parking meters. For more information, contact downtowndurango.org. The Business Women's Idea Exchange will meet at noon on Friday, January 10th at Thrive Chiropractic Studios at 202 West 22nd Street. The free meeting is open to women business owners and professionals who want to rev up their marketing programs by brainstorming with other women. No RSVPs are necessary, but you are asked to arrive 5 minutes before noon. If you have questions, contact Bethany Neekum at thrivingbethany@gmail.com. The second local benefit day at Durango Mountain Resort will be on Sunday, January 12th. Big Brothers Big Sisters of Southwest Colorado, the Medicine Horse Center, Sexual Assault Services Organization, and Annie's Orphans will be the benefits from that day's ticket sales. Discounted lift tickets are available for $40 for adults, but you have to present a benefit day coupon at the ticket window. Download a coupon at skiperg.com/benefit day. That's it for this week's community updates. The community calendar is brought to you by what'shappeningdurango.com. Post your free event today and join the one-stop, easy-to-use events calendar for Durango. Join us next week for Inside Durango News, and we'll find out what ice fishing is all about, and we'll visit with Gigi Batty to find out what you can learn through Fort Lewis's College's continuing education program. I'm Ashley Dixon with Inside Durango News, and remember, just watch us. You'll like what you see.